Alright. Today we're going to talk about silky chickens. Are they worth it? Are they just frivolous chickens? Short answer if you don't want to watch this whole video. Yes, they're worth it. Yes, they're also frivolous. But that doesn't mean they're not worth it. Right, Winnie? So today we're going to talk a little bit about silkies, how to raise them, some of the special needs that are required to raise a happy, healthy silkie, because they are a smaller breed of chicken. They're a bantam chicken. They just have slightly different needs than your standard chicken. They're some of our favorite chickens on the farm. The reason why silkies are so fluffy is because they don't have your typical chicken feathers. They lack in the tiny hooks that hold normal feathers in. You can see that's why their feathers are much fluffier. They're very easy to socialize. You can see I'm holding Winnie here. She's very calm, a very docile breed. They're very friendly, they're easy to socialize, and they don't really get into trouble. They're very small and they're very contained, so they would actually make a really wonderful backyard chicken. If you live in a smaller space, I would suggest starting with a silkie because they're so easy to handle. They don't require that much space. So this is our Silkie Coop. This is where we keep the silkies, and we have one bantam cochin, so we keep her in here as well. This is where we keep just the mini girls. People say that silkies make great house pets. I would never allow a chicken in the house, but I can see it. They look like little Pomeranians. They're not the most prolific egg layers, but the reason for that is because they go broody often. We have 1 or 2 silkie go broody at a time all year round. When a chicken goes broody, they don't lay eggs during that time. Silkies lay smaller eggs, so 2 silkie eggs equates to 1 bigger sized chicken egg. Silkies make excellent mothers. If you do allow your broody silkie to go through and hatch the eggs, or if you put day-old chicks under a broody hen, or in our case, we put a day-old gosling under our broody silkie, they will take care of that baby. They are some of the best mothers I've ever seen. They're very dedicated, and they won't suddenly abandon the baby like some breeds can take a baby and then just kind of get tired of the task and then let the baby die. It's really sad, but I've never seen that happen with a silkie. And if we do have a broody silkie that does lose interest in the baby, we have 2 other silkies on deck who are more than willing to take over. It's pretty amazing. They'll like share the job of mama hen. So silkies make excellent mothers. You really want to start off with an easy breed to raise. I think a silkie is one of the easiest breeds you can start off with. Another interesting thing about the silkies are they don't roost. Some might, and we will provide a roost for them in case they want to, but our girls don't use a roost. They don't care for it. They will sleep in their little bins with each other. They'll cuddle up with each other. So that's a very interesting thing we learned, and it's honestly very cute, but they're perfectly happy just snuggling up together. So on our property, we have 2 livestock guardian dogs, and we have some geese around, and we're always kind of around. We don't worry too much about predators. Our dogs definitely do a big job of chasing them away. But if you don't have a livestock guardian dog, silkies require a little bit extra protection. Maybe if they had like a run, I would suggest having a roof on their run because they don't see very well. Their fluff kind of covers up their eyes. Some people trim their feathers so that they can see better, but they do require a little bit extra protection in their run if you don't have something set up like a good fence, a good roof over them, because you have to consider the flying predators and raccoons and all that. The silkies eat less because they're smaller, so you don't need to have as much feed. They keep their space a little bit cleaner because they're smaller. They don't poop as much, so that's a huge plus. I would suggest having an extra heat source in the winter. If your winters get really cold like ours do, have an extra heat source for your silkies because they're smaller and they just require a little bit of extra warmth. We have a chick cozy. It's a very safe heat source that we use for the babies. That's always been enough for us. We're in northern Minnesota, zone 4B, so it gets really cold in the winters, but we've never had an issue with our babies. We have 40 chickens altogether, but we keep the silkies and the bantam chicken that we have separate. We keep all the small ones separate because they don't roost, so they would maybe get pooped on all night if they were sleeping in the coop with the rest, and also they might be more susceptible to getting picked on because they're so docile. They don't really fight back too much. Well, except Sarah. She's a fighter. I've seen her chase the geese. For the most part, they're very docile and they don't necessarily fight back. So we don't want them to get picked on because they're so much smaller than the other chickens. So we have an extra space for them because we're extra and they're extra and we're all extra here. If you want a chicken just for the eggs, then maybe don't get a Silkies. But if you want a companion, if you want to be able to hold and pet your bird, a Silkie's a great breed to have. I will say, in the wintertime, when the rest of the chickens stopped laying, the Silkies were the only ones providing us with eggs during that time. I'm not sure why. That was pretty nifty. Am I forgetting anything? We really actually want to get even more. We kind of want just a whole flock of Silkies. They're amazing. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to put Winnie down so she can get some cool grass. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions about Silkies, or if you want to see a video about another breed or about a duck or a goose or anything. We'll work on that. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.